While we know schools will not be open for the rest of the school year, it's not clear if they will reopen in the fall on time. One of the key leaders in charge of navigating this new world for Minnesota's 900,000 school kids and their families is the commissioner of the Minnesota Department of Education, Cathryn Ricker. I spoke to her earlier this morning. And joining us this morning is the Minnesota Commissioner of the Department of Education, Cathryn Ricker. Commissioner Ricker, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for the invitation, Esme.
All right. We know, Commissioner, that there will not be school this year. What can you tell us, though? What kinds of factors are going to go into your decision about whether school can open on time or not for the 900,000 kids that are Minnesota students in the fall?
I really appreciate that question because it'll also give you a window into the factors that went into this really hard decision, as well as the decision to begin distance learning on March 30th. And that is, we want to use the most accurate, up-to-date information we are getting from the Minnesota Department of Health as possible. We have worked so closely together to think of students' learning conditions and think of what our community's health conditions are. You know, what sort of safety can we provide for students and educators when they're getting on and off the buses, when they're in their classes, during passing time, during lunch, thinking of every minute of a student's day and what we're learning about community health and safety practices and what it takes to really make sure that we're adhering to both the Department of Health and the CDC guidelines when we would have students present in our schools.
All right. Let me ask you about online learning, because just about everybody that I have talked to, including myself, I have a high school senior, my youngest, this is tough. And for some people, it's more than tough. It's almost impossible for a number of reasons. I'd like to get into that too. But your assessment of online learning.
Well, I appreciate that question too, because when we first started distance learning and we had that planning period, we asked our educators to think very carefully about the space a student is in and to determine, would that student have access to a device? Would that student need to have some non-tech analog ways of learning? And actually our educators who even are in one-to-one districts or charter schools realized that they didn't want students to be on their devices 6 hours a day. And so they had to think really carefully about how they were going to design lessons to meet the needs of students in the space students are in. And what we've learned since then is even with careful planning, we are still seeing what some people are calling the digital divide, right? We are still seeing gaps in access to devices, certainly across the state as well, gaps in access to the internet or broadband. And so even when we're putting together those best analog lessons, we recognize that our students really deserve our work to expand access to both devices and the internet.
And obviously that goes beyond the Minnesota Department of Education, but let's talk about this because people have been talking about this at the legislature for years. And I want to talk about our producer's daughter. Sandra Lynn is our producer. Her daughter Dara is a fifth grader in Independence, which is in Hennepin County, and they can't download a video where they are. I mean, so she can't do the teleconference. What is that? I mean, that doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem fair, and it seems like something has to be done about this.
And it absolutely does. And that is not an unusual story. We have had educators report to us that their at-home broadband actually isn't strong, or their at-home internet isn't strong enough to deliver lessons. So they're still going into school and working in their classrooms alone, or bringing their own children to school to work in their classrooms because they don't have the strength of internet access. And so this experience of distance learning with so many of our school districts and charter schools trying to deliver instruction online with devices, needing the internet, even when you're not in direct instruction with a teacher over a video like this, students wanting to get on the internet and look up research or deliver their paper via one of the platforms a school is using. All of these experiences across the state of Minnesota at the same time are really exposing the sort of work we need to do to make sure that we have some more connectivity across the entire state for our students and families.
And maybe that's one of the reforms or the good things that can emerge from this when we finally do get out of it. But let me ask you, how are you going to evaluate students when they get back? Because there has got to be an enormous difference in the way people are learning. What do you think? I mean, how are you going to do that?
Yeah, I think that not only do we have evaluations that we've used this past year already. Our schools are actually fairly data rich about where our students have been. They have their own assessments that they've been using on students, and of course our teachers are regularly collecting updates on students' progress for their classroom assignments. So we've got a body of evidence. Our schools, quite frankly, have a body of evidence they can use to make sure that when they are assessing their students right now, they can compare it against that evidence. We don't even have to wait until next fall. Okay. But when we do come back next fall, I think we do have to treat this group of students as incredibly unique because they are all going through the same experience. So not only do we want to look at what some of those high quality academic assessments are, we want to make sure that our students, their well-being is checked in on as well. We can do some of that right now. But one of the things we're talking about is looking at the most recent Minnesota student survey and using the results from that student survey that already showed some concerns in the growth of mental health issues with our students, using some of those same questions to determine how our students are doing holistically. Okay,
and I think that holistic approach, I think everybody, every family, I think, would welcome that because we all need a holistic approach at this point. Mayor Cathryn Ricker, Commissioner of the Minnesota Department of Education, thank you so much for your time. I know you're really busy trying to grapple with all these changes that are going on. I appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you very much, and thank you to your high school senior, who I know is having a very different experience alongside all the high school seniors in the state of Minnesota this year. We really care about the class of 2020 and all of our students, and we want to make sure we do our best work for them.
Absolutely, and thank you for saying that.